today I'd like to introduce Jeff Davies and Mike McGinness, the author and photographer of the book Florida History and Pictures, which is on sale today. What is the price now? $30, and it's a wonderful book. It's a lot of fun. I particularly like the race car that's in there and the Beatles when they came to Florida. So when they're finished, you're welcome to pick up a book. Now, who's coming first?
The tall guy.
The tall guy.
Hello, thank you for coming out today. We really appreciate it. My name is Mike McGinness, and I am from Orlando, Florida. I'm a native, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll talk about how our Facebook group came about. So I was born in 1963 in Orlando. We lived in Altamont Springs at the time, which is a little community just a little north of Orlando. And it was a wonderful place to grow up. It was, back then we lived on a dirt road, and there was nothing but oak trees and lakes and, all available to swim in and fish in. And that was back before people blocked off all of the houses and kept you from being able to get to the lakes. But it was a wonderful place to grow up, and I think I really learned to appreciate Florida at an early age, starting from those early childhood memories of just being able to go out and play until the street lights came on and come back and do it all over again the next day. But so when I was 7, my father worked for the Porter Paints Company, and he got transferred to Tampa. So when I was 7, we moved to Davis Islands in Tampa. And back then, that was when people with, middle income people could actually live on Davis Island back in the day. So right now, it's kind of a trendy, wealthy place that people like to live and suffer through the hurricanes. But so Tampa was much different than Orlando. It was particularly Davis Island. It was kind of like a Mediterranean style architecture, and it was way different than Orlando's, but it was neat, and we really enjoyed living there. So when I was 12, we moved to Atlanta, and my father took a job up there, and we lived in Atlanta for about 5 years, and then after I graduated high school, I moved back to Orlando. So I've been in Florida my whole life, with the exception of those 5 years in Georgia. My love of history goes way back to probably my father. He was a Civil War history buff, but loved history of all types. And I would spend hours, back before there was cartoons on 24/7 and internet available, I would look at his books, and I would just leaf through these books. And so my fascination with history started at an early age from doing that. And it kind of lay dormant for a while, and then Facebook came along about 15 years or so ago, and I eventually joined a group related to Orlando, like growing up in Orlando, more of like a nostalgia type of group, where people would post photos of their old days and talk about the old days, talk about what songs they used to listen to, what movies they used to watch, and all of that. But my favorite type of posts were the history posts, that talked about, old photographs and talked about what it was like back then. So I decided to start my own group, and I started a group called Historic Orlando, and it gained a fairly quick following, and we had some really good members that were contributing good stories and information about the old days. And we liked the direction the group was going, and we decided we wanted to expand a little bit because we're starting to run out of pictures of Orlando. So we decided to start a Florida group, and it's now evolved into the group up there is called Florida History and Pictures, the group. You'll see that on Facebook, and it's also the name of our book. And so the Florida group has now grown to over 300,000 members. So we're quite proud of the growth that we've had, but we're more proud of the group itself. The interaction that we get from our members on a daily basis, it's really a neat format to be able to share a photo and then have people comment about their memories of that photo, and it branches off into other directions sometimes. So it's a great way to share history and our love of history. And with that, I will let Jeff give his background a little bit, and then we'll get into some slides that we're going to show you guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Nice to see everybody. I thank you. Thank you, Karen, and everyone from the Hollywood Historical Society. My name is Jeff Davies. I was brought up on Miami Beach, went to elementary school, junior high school, all on the beach. There was a little town called North Bay Village. I don't know if anyone is familiar with it. It was it was very interesting because on one side you have Miami, on the other side you have Miami Beach. But we were on the same zip code as Miami Beach, so if anyone asked where we were from, I'd say Miami Beach. We had our family business there, and it was just a wonderful place to grow up in. I also spent a lot of time here in Hollywood. I'm very familiar with the area. Although I live up in Boca Raton now, my heart still belongs in South Broward and all of Dade County. I can't get used to calling it Miami-Dade County, but it is what it is. Anyway, about 2012, I was on Facebook one day and I found an Orlando group because I also lived in Orlando for a year. And I was interested in it. So I started posting photos. The head of the group at the time said, this isn't really the group for you, and suggested a group that Mike had started about 6 months earlier. Well, Mike and I found that we had a lot in common, our love of history, the roots, etc., and we became fast friends. Fast forward, 12 years later, we've written one book, we have another book in the works, we have a children's book in the works, and we've been traveling all over the state of Florida for the last 12 months to 24 months, and we've gone to historical societies, museums, libraries, we've been in schools, we've been in bookstores, and we've just been sharing our love of history. Because the book is why we're here, but the group gave birth to the book. The publisher contacted us almost 3 years ago, and they wanted to get a foothold in the Florida market because they were from Canada. So they looked at our Facebook group, which at the time probably had about 180,000 members, maybe. And they suggested that we spin the group off into a book. So Mike and I were intrigued by the idea. So what we did was, we asked our members, we said, look in your attics, look in your trunks, look at your old photo albums, see what you could come up with. And we wanted to find their buried treasures. And about a third of the photos that are in this book come directly from our members. So it's not like you could go into Barnes & Noble where there's about 400 different Florida history books and see a repeat of what we put in our book. This is all unique. And there are photos that you'll never find anywhere else. Now, the photos that we did not get from our members, we did get from other sources, museums and libraries, etc., with their permission. And this gentleman right here, if anyone is familiar with him, this is Seth Branson. He was our mentor. He helped us put the book together. He supplied us with a lot of the content. And he is the premier historian in South Florida. So, in front of everyone, I'd like to thank you, Seth.
That was stated exactly as I told him to.
Thank you. Anyway, moving along. Part of the reason why we did what we did was we wanted to preserve history. We wanted the younger people to know that before the building was a CVS, it was a post office. Or before the building was a Mexican restaurant, it was a church. So we just want folks to know what came before, and we figured that this was the best way to preserve it. And it's a labor of love where we're concerned because we are lovers of history, we're students of history, and we want to spread to people what we've learned. We've been to some towns that are so small. We were in Lake Alfred not too long ago. We've been down all parts of Miami, Coral Gables. We're going to Gainesville in a few weeks. We're going back to Ormond. I mean, we've been all over, and we're returning to places a second and third time because we've got a lot to tell. The group itself just took off because this isn't just a group where we post photos and people look at the photos and they click or they do whatever. We'll post a photo, we'll put a description, we'll put where the photo came from. We'll open up a discussion. People will say that they will give us additional information that I did not put in the caption. And there are some times where we'll put up a photo where the most interesting thing will happen. A member will recognize a family member in the photo. A cousin, a great-grandfather, an uncle, a parent. And that is fantastic. And that's why we do what we do. So what we've done is we put together some historic photos of the area, and we want to share them with you, discuss it, talk about it, answer any questions you might have, and again, thank you for having us. So let's begin. Okay, as you see by the notes on the bottom, this is Hollywood Hills Elementary School. The school is still there, as with anything else, has been renovated.
Yeah. Better.
Good. Okay, here's a bird's eye view of Hollywood. And if you see over here where the source is, where it says Flickr comments, that means that it's a section of Flickr. And I'm going to explain my sources to you folks in case you want to look on your own for further pictures or further information. Flickr Commons is a section of Flickr where every photo there is royalty free.
I want to point out that something that we feel strongly about is providing the source of the photos. Most Facebook groups don't do that. And they'll just steal it from another group and then share it onto another group, which is fine, but we feel like that's kind of what sets us apart from other groups is, we like all of our photos to have the source. When our members will post a photo, if it's a family photo, we'll approve it. But if it looks like a photo that might have been taken from a website or a book or something, we won't approve the post right away, or we'll write to the member and say, can you please provide the source? Personally, I think it's very important.
Good.
All right.
Okay. Street view of Hollywood Boulevard and 20th Avenue. This came from Florida National University Library. The building, as of today, is still there. On the boardwalk, Hollywood Beach. I'm sure we've all been on Hollywood Beach. This is a pretty interesting photo from the 1920s.
If anyone has anything they want to chime in with these photos, like if they have something they want to add to,
by all means.
feel free to speak up. We love to learn.
That's why we're here.
That's right.
Okay, Hollywood Boulevard under constructions. They line the cars up to show the width of the boulevard. Well, we've all been on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah. There's another one of Hollywood Boulevard. And there's the hotel.
Behind the hotel. The ocean, it would be behind the hotel.
I'm looking for the canal, for the waterway.
Yeah, it's on the
It's
other-
still coastal, yeah.
It would probably be behind you.
Is that the bridge there? Oh, okay.
This is from that 1923, that one. All right, here we go, Harding Circle. Originally known as Circle Park, it was renamed Harding Circle in 1923 after a visit from President Harding. In 1934, it was renamed again to what we know it as Joseph W. Young Circle, after the passing of the city's founder. Young Circle. Check it out now. Well, there's another cool picture of Hollywood Beach. Where's the boardwalk? Oh, there's the boardwalk. Yeah. I was looking for the boardwalk.
Looks like some buildings being built here. Some construction going on.
All right, here's an aerial view.
Little-
Doesn't look very populated. From 1925. Here's the boardwalk.
It's the broad walk.
Sorry, I get, you know what? I get corrected so many times and I still get it wrong. I stand corrected.
Okay.
Does anyone know
There's the broad walk.
Wait, question.
Sir.
Was it in 1925 the boardwalk? We know today it's called the Broad Walk, but at that time, wasn't it the boardwalk?
No,
think so.
no, Joseph Young wanted it to be the broad walk from the beginning.
Okay, Hollywood Boulevard, heading east.
That's where I live.
There's the casino and the pool from the Clifford Mass Collection. There we go. I think there's this one. Okay, MDPLS, if anyone wants to know, that stands for the Miami-Dade Public Library. They have a very large collection of historical photos from Broward and Dade and some from Palm Beach. Large selection. Oh, okay. Winter headquarters of the Riverside Military Academy. It was located in Presidential Circle, formerly known as Academy Circle, built around the 1930s as a hotel named the Hollywood Hills Inn. It was converted into the Academy in 1932.
We used to date the river rats.
Dania Powerhouse, inlet to Plain Canal.
Why did they call them river rats? I mean,
Because that's who they were.
They used to go out and
The
get
boys
the
called them. Yes.
okay.
The Great Southern Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard, located in the west intersection with Young Circle, the hotel built in 1924 by your friend of mine, Joseph W. Young. Looking west of the Parkview Hotel. This is a nice shot. I mean, you can see a lot here. Chamber of Commerce,
Sorry, John.
and this comes from the Romer collection.
And there's that Southern Hotel in the background again.
Royal Palm Hotel. Here's another shot of the boardwalk. Broadwalk.
Thank you.
You say tomato, no.
No, there's board. It's board there. There was a.
There's some broads there too, though. So
And if you're not having fun, you're
That's what
bored.
it's called, the broad one.
There's the canal.
Add that to your.
It's a
so
military parade.
so River Rats is a take on Riverside Military Academy. I take it.
Correct.
Okay, makes sense now.
Hollywood Beach. And DPLA stands for Digital Public Library of America. That's another huge site with photos from all over. Okay. Hollywood Boulevard, looking west from Young Circle. You know, if you think how old some of these photos are, between 90 to almost 100 years old, and the detail you can still see in them, it's incredible. Hollywood Beach Hotel.
That fountain's not there anymore.
Interchange.
Yeah, it's not as scenic as it once was.
Here's the pool from the Hollywood Casino. What's it say? Put your body before going. Do not oil on.
Do not put oil on your body before going in the pool.
That came from, the water came from the ocean.
Tropical Gardens. 25, I know Madison Street, I know that.
It is still there. That little house is still there.
Yeah, because aren't there all homes on Madison?
The archway is gone, and this chimney on the right side is gone, but it's still there. I don't think this house on the left is still there though. It's a private residence now. It used to be a nursery when it first opened.
So plants or children?
Plants.
Look at their bright light.
Okay, front view of Florida East Coast Railroad Streamliner Hollywood,
There's bright light.
Yeah.
1940.
Definitely not quite.
No. Dania Canal near the Seaboard Airline Bridge, 1940.
Look at that Indian mound, I would assume, right? Seth, wouldn't you say that's an Indian mound or
I would
not?
say that's when they got it out.
I want to be careful, I
That's when
think
they-
it might be too large, but I wouldn't say yes or no because I don't know.
Probably just when they dredged it out the canal.
Maybe,
Probably
maybe.
known from that.
Could be, could be.
Okay, here's some advertisements. This is for the oceanfront apartments, located right on the ocean at Wilson. Wonder how much that property's worth today?
A million.
It's not there anymore, by the way. There's a much larger building than
Yeah,
that.
I would assume so. Hollywood Kennel Club, the 1940s. This was one of the postcards.
Racetrack? There's a dog racetrack? The dog.
Dog
racetrack.
racing, yeah.
Is that the racetrack?
The dog racetrack.
Yes.
November Road, which is now the Big Easy Casino.
Okay, here's another apartment from 1943, patio and water view, McLaughlin Apartments, 2000 North Ocean Drive.
It's still there.
Those are really.
That is still there. Looks different, but it's still there.
Hollywood Beach.
Back before people used canopies and umbrellas.
I was gonna say, you can
And
probably smell
sunscreen.
the baby oil from here. Little Flower School.
That's there.
It's still there, yeah. It's a Catholic school, right?
1950.
Yes, yes.
I go to church there.
Okay.
All right.
But the Pierce Street is closed off and now the parking lot's on this side.
All right, here's some photos.
Pierce Street.
Okay.
There's no street.
This is the business district on Hollywood Boulevard from the 1950s. Another postcard. I love some of these old signs. Well, they weren't old then, but they're old now.
It's like the First National Bank.
Yes,
Yep.
it's now apartment buildings.
Okay. Hollywood Aviation, Pembroke Road, North Perry, 1950s. I thought this was a cool photo.
All of these photos, by the way, are in our group.
Yes. I love the Cessna sign. Well, I'm sure we all know what this is. I love a little bit of that Dania Highlight. It's funny. I lived probably closer to Miami Highlight, but I always went to the one here in Dania because it was by Jackson's. Gulfstream going to Hallandale here,
Doesn't look like
and now it's a casino and stores. And well,
Look at, there's people up here as well. Look at,
it's completely different now.
It needed a rehab, but they took it.
All right, here we go. A view of the beach or Johnson Street. Little aerial, sort of. Little mixologist. Anyone ever here go to the Vogue Room?
Wow.
In the 1950s?
Carrie was there, you know, when he goes down.
No, I wasn't.
Karen, is that you there with the wrong name?
Me.
Here's
mixologist.
another section in Dania, going a little bit further.
That's drugstore, still there though.
1952. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's true. I know that one.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
The building right next to it is still there.
Yep.
That was a bank.
And a bank building on the corner.
Is that the bank?
I think a Reed hospital.
Yeah, that strip pretty much still looks the same, Mike.
Yeah.
Another area of Villa Hollywood. There's the Intracoastal going east, 1955. Okay, stop. This is a place I wanted to take Mike for lunch, but it's not gonna work out today. Am I wrong with this place has the best ice cream?
Oh, my God.
And the best wait in line.
Bucket
The hot dogs.
Really?
Yes, yes. It is still there, in the same spot, and the food's great.
Okay.
Here's an aerial of the North Perry Airport in Pembroke Pines, in 1957. Okay, here we go to Hallandale. This came from the Sun Sentinel. As you can see, it's marked off. Here's the Diplomat, Golden Isles, Golden Beach, Speed Traps, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Don't speak to Golden Beach. All right, now we're going to look further west at the McMurmar, 1960.
Do you guys know the story of the airport there, about why the runway is shaped like that?
No, sir, I do not.
So they did that so that the planes, no matter which way the wind was coming, they would have an option of landing. So they could shift to the other spoke of the wheel based on the wind pattern.
Makes sense. Smart.
I did not know that. Okay.
How come that didn't take off for other airlines?
I don't really know about that part of it.
Okay. Here's one of the many fruit stands that were throughout the state of Florida back in the day. This one's called Alex's Citrus Fruit Stand in Dania. You can drive up and down the state back then and you're bound to pass one. Hollywood Boulevard, getting a little further now in the 1960s. Oh, back when there were coconuts on the trees,
Yeah.
before the yellow
Where they
blight.
put the median in.
Young Circle, a little bit later, in the 1960s, from the Department of Transportation's site. West Hollywood Volunteer Fire Department by the Perry Airport, came from Sun Sentinel. Dania Pier,
Oh my gosh.
that's a cool photo.
It's not there anymore. Yes, it is.
Now, is the Hollywood Sun Tatler still around?
No, we
No.
have it at the research
Not that old.
department. We have the original books with the Sun Tatler in
Getting ticketed on Hollywood Beach.
it. On the Broadwalk?
I think it's a staged photo probably, but it's pretty cool.
Those are beach buddies.
He's like, what did I do wrong, officer?
Yeah, right.
He's smiling because he's in a pool car.
Didn't they used to have fires on Hollywood?
Okay, how many remember Pirates World? You know that they had a ride, this is a true story. I was a kid and my parents went to Pirates World for a charity event. And they come home, they open the door, and my mother and father was soaking wet. My mother decided to stand in the log flume, and they fell off.
Right here,
So
Joe.
yeah.
The
So
log
we have those
flume.
own Pirates World.
The log.
This is cool. Linda McCartney and Jimi Hendrix at the Miami Pop Festival, Gulfstream, back in 1968. Imagine what they were talking about.
That's Paul McCartney's first one.
This came from Bettman Archives. She was probably asking him where they can get to what they needed.
Yeah, looks like he's giving her something. I'll hook you up, Linda.
Here's the Diplomat. Speaks for itself. 1969. Okay, Miami Speedway, which was in Hollywood, as everyone knows. It was in the 1970s.
We used to call it the Seaway because it's snowed from the earth.
There's an antique shop in Dania. I don't know where this was.
I don't
Anyone
either.
does?
There was a whole strip of antique shops on US 1.
Yes, you are, that's right. Okay, Elvin Bishop and his group performing at the Hollywood Speedway Rock Festival. Hollywood Beach.
That looks the same.
Who is this guy? Looks like a model or something. Looks like a commercial or
Probably
something.
makes up looking that way in the
Looks
morning.
good.
Like a GQ commercial or something.
All right, here Johnson Street, 1974.
Yeah, it's still there.
Somebody told me 1974 is 50 years ago. I said, you're kidding.
I remember it so well, I guess.
Was it on place?
Okay, Amtrak, the trains passengers at the Hollywood Station. I rode that Amtrak plenty of times.
And that's a cool angle.
Yeah, it really is. Arielville, Hollywood, Hollywood View.
Probably the 20s. We're into the year unknown section where we weren't sure of the year, so rather than
I
guess.
never, ever tried, if a photo does not come without a year, unless I talk to Professor Bramson, I will not guess. I'll just put year unknown, I'll leave it to the experts.
The hotel's there, but not.
That is definitely circa late 1920s though. can tell by the complete lack of development.
Right.
I'd agree.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Here's Boulevard. This is from Boston Public Library. As I was discussing with Seth earlier, if you ever go on their website, they have hundreds upon hundreds of these type of postcards from Florida.
Wow. I used to shop at Three Sisters.
Oh, yes, yes.
I used to eat at Woolworth. Here's the Dania postcard.
What is the, does anyone know what this structure is? It looks like a communications tower.
That's the tower there on Sheridan Street, isn't it? No,
It looks like some kind of.
That's when you come over Dania Beach Boulevard.
What was that? Why would I be getting a signal from?
Oh, that's when you come over
Yeah.
Dania, but I don't know.
Taking it over.
That's not where that
Yeah, where I lived, I lived across.
Track all the aliens.
Yeah, maybe so.
This is antenna of some sort.
That's what it looks like, yeah, some sort of a,
No, there's a Coast Guard station.
Okay, here's another view of the Diplomat.
maybe.
It's still there today. It looks a lot different, but it's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah, they imploded that one. Now it has like a hole in the middle. There's two towers and then.
Okay, Fowler's, Great Southern Hotel. Anybody remember Fowler's?
Sunday with
The food
my
good?
Yeah.
Always like the top restaurants. Okay, here's an area of Gulf Stream.
That was cool.
Look at that. I remember. Yes.
I remember the flea markets they had during the weekends.
Yeah, during the season.
There's the pool there.
Hollywood Beach Casino, another view of the pool, with a lot of oil. Okay, here's the Hollywood Fashion Center. This was, I'm sure everybody here probably shopped there at one time or another. You know, and unfortunately, it became known as where Adam Walsh was.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
That was Sears.
No, I'm saying the mall. Was this the one by
95 and 441. No, 441
This wasn't Ross,
is.
441.
Can't see.
Right. Oh, no, you stand corrected.
It's a different place.
Adam Walsh one was where the Sears counter.
441.
Park Road, the
No,
Boulevard.
no,
This is
Park
for
Road.
This one's 441 and Hollywood Boulevard, and Adam Walsh was Park Road and Hollywood. And
You're right, yeah,
they're the-
absolutely, I stand corrected. Okay, here's the Ritz Theater. They have this website where they have all photos of all theaters from around the United States from the 20s, 30s, 40s. So I decided to type in Florida one day and this popped up. Sawyer Motor Company, Hollywood, Miami-Dade Public Library. This was a cool photo.
Yeah, a lot going on here. Look at these guys.
Okay, this fellow again in color this time. Young Circle. The Flamingo Hotel. I love the sign, the cars, you know, everything about this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's still there, early 50s, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was interesting. The Log Cabins, 2301 Ocean Drive.
I bet you the termites got that.
Or the developers.
Who are like termites.
It's another word for them.
The Caracoa Motel. You know, this looks like one of the hotels that would have been on Saturday night at this game.
Yes.
on Sunny Isles.
Yes.
It does look like a sunny
That
island.
looks like a sunny accent.
Dixie Highway Tourist or welcome to Dania. What a cool, yeah, the sign up there says Dixie Highway Tourist.
Welcome to Dania.
This is an awesome photo.
Horses and cars. Some people still have horses.
Okay, here's another shot of Hollywood Boulevard with the Florida Theater.
That's the SunTrust Bank, which is now torn down.
Of course it is.
Oh, that's so sad.
All right, this was a private school, an outdoor private school, Hollywood, Florida. I don't know what the name of the school was.
Oops, sorry.
South Broward High School. Oh,
All right, here we go.
there we go, South Broward High School. Anyone here go to South Broward High School?
I teach there.
Terrific.
That looks like it might have been about the time frame you were there, sir. 1950s or so, 60s, early 60s maybe?
No,
I think this-
your brother went to Hollywood Hills.
That's the last one, Jeff.
All right, okay. You want to turn, can someone turn the lights on, please?
Are you guys only interested in the
Oh, from 18,
Yeah.
until 1982. So, that's our view of Hollywood. And we told you about our group, what we like. Anyone have any questions?
How do you join the group?
How do you join the group? You go on Facebook, to Florida History and Pictures, and click join. Yes, you had a question?
What was it, Florida, what did you say, Florida?
Florida History and Pictures.
History in pictures? Or-
Yes, here, it's up here on the,
Oh, and this is where we can find all these photographs?
Actually, yeah, when you're looking for the group on Facebook, that's the name of it, but at the end, it has parentheses and it says the group.
Yeah.
Just so you know that that's the group. We actually started a Facebook page for the book as well, and it became a little confusing. So the group, the one you want to look for is the one that says the group at the end.
So it's Florida History in Pictures, the group.
Yes.
yes.
Thank you.
So on that note, if anyone has any questions, or if you'd like to purchase a book from us, ma'am.
I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that at Jackson's, there used to be a gambling room in the back where they would kind of,
I wouldn't know that. All I know is I've been eating ice cream ever since I'm a little boy.
I just heard that back in the 40s.
Okay. Dr. Professor Branson just told me that no.
It's not true, that's a rumor, okay. But there was gambling in Lincoln.
Seth's event that he wanted us to mention.
Big state.
Oh, Seth, you were talking about the event you're having in November? Well, if anyone's interested.
This lady has a question.
Yeah.
Because I kind of came in 15 minutes.
That's okay.
So, like, kind of what made you guys do the book, what inspired you?
Okay.
That mistake.
Our mutual love of history, and I found this group that Mike had started because I was referred to by someone else. We started talking back and forth via Facebook. We became fast friends, and I helped Mike, and we grew the group to 300,000 people are the members. And about 3 years ago, we were approached about writing a book as a spin-off of the group. We did that. We've been traveling all over the state the last couple of years, and we'll continue to do so, sharing our love of history and our book. And that's what brought us here to Hollywood. I'm from South Florida. Mike's from Central Florida, and we've come to stay.
Do you guys have books on other cities or just kind of?
Oh, no. The book has many cities in it.
Oh, okay.
It has 128 pages, and it covers the state. And our group has about 75,000 photos of the entire state.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
How long was that military academy existing? They also big office building on the support.
Right.
How long did that exist and what was the purpose of that?
What's the question? The military academy?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how long. I don't know.
And what was the purpose of it? What was the purpose of that military academy? Was it a school?
It was a hotel, actually.
It started off as a hotel, but they turned it into an academy.
It started the hotel?
Yes.
Like Miami Military Academy. It was a high school for young people who wanted to learn military, and that allowed them, upon graduation, to go into officer candidate school in the Army.
it was like West Point and that.
Well, no, West Point was a college, a university. These are high schools,
Yeah,
but from there, they could go to West Point if they were accepted. But remember, to get into the US military academies, West Point, the Naval Academy, you have to be recommended by a congressman or a senator.
But it was the Riverside Military Academy it was the winter.
That's what I was just gonna say.
It was in Georgia.
It was winter, yeah, that
it
was in
the
Georgia.
main school was in Georgia, but they just spent the 3 winter months here at the
Okay,
at the
Seth,
Riverside.
your event mentioned? What's that? Your event?
Yeah, before I mention the event, I cannot begin to tell you which I'm doing. You have no idea how terrific these two young men are in terms of giving credit. And there is so much of this, I'm trying to think of the word, I'm having a junior moment. What's it called when people steal other people's work and don't give credit?
Plagiarism?
Plagiarizing. And as a academician, and last year I couldn't even spell academician, and now I are one. What they have done to ensure that proper credit is given is beyond words. And as far as the event, you're all invited. We're opening up, I live in Miami Shores, but we're opening at the Historical Association of Palm Beach County at the gorgeous Palm Beach County Historical Society building, which was the old Palm Beach County Courthouse at 300 North Federal. On November 14th, we're opening the history of tourism in Palm Beach County. So if you are able, if you live towards there, it'll be on for some months, and you certainly, I think you'd love it if you get a chance.
How can you get information about it? Is there a website?
Yeah, well, you can go to Palm Beach County Historical Society. Yeah, I have, my brother and I have growing up on Miami Beach. That's our site. But what these fellows have done is nothing short of spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you, Seth. Anyone else have any questions? With that, anyone interested in a book?
yeah. I have a